what are your guys' thoughts, Fluffles? What are your thoughts on like regretting having kids? Like you have kids, you're like, hell yeah, I want kids. And then you regret them. Like this video is more specifically women who regret becoming a mother, which like I guess people freaking dogpile them, but it's like, bro, like, yeah, you can have kids and regret them. You know, kind of the reality of things. Lack of sleep, lack of money, headaches. Yeah, exactly. Like, I don't understand people who, who can't understand it. Like, you can have regret, you can regret having kids just like you can regret anything else. Like, except it's kind of like a shittier situation. So, it's me now without children. Yes, without children. Imagine having the children. Imagine. Then you would get no sleep. There should be tests for parents who want to have kids. Yeah, like, how would you test that though? You just give them a random baby. Here, just take this random baby, and it's yours for a week. Have fun. I remember they they like give you that doll. Uh, in high school, I took like a parenting, for whatever reason in high school they have a parenting course, parenting class. I took that, and I one of the tests was that you get a baby doll, and it kind of like acts like it will start crying or whatever, and you need to like feed it and stuff. And I kid you not, I'm supposed to be taking care of this doll, and I would wake up in the middle of the night and hear this doll crying, and my mom was standing there taking care of this baby doll. And I was like, Mom, I'm supposed to take care of the doll. And she was like, I know, but it's crying and you didn't wake up right away. And I was like, Mom, let me take care of it. And she's like, no, just go back to sleep. It's fine. I got it. I got it. And then of course I was like, okay. And then I passed back out. But yeah, so let's see what this video is all about. Women who regret motherhood are speaking out.
I consider myself someone that stands 10 toes down on the fact that I regret motherhood. It's like I don't like regret my daughter, I regret the role.
I think people are rubbed the wrong way about it because most moms feel that way.
Yeah.
And you're not allowed to say it.
There is an anxiety that I have developed having a child that never lived in me before at all. The fear of even when she's not with me and I don't have to be selfless. I'm still thinking about, is somebody going to hurt her? Is an earthquake gonna happen? A mother is like who I am, like at my
Ooh, yeah. That's something I think a lot of people don't think about, is like when you have a kid, like this lady's saying, you kind of get that thing where you're just going to be constantly thinking about them, even when they're an adult and moved out on their own and they're living alone and whatever. You're still going to be having that constant, as she said, the constant anxiety where you're worrying about them. What are they doing? Are they out driving and they're going to get into an accident? Are they being safe? Oh, what if someone breaks into their house? What if, are they sick? Are they Why is she calling me? Did something happen? Yeah. That's my mom, my I remember on the first time I ever went on a vacation by myself. It was the first time going out of the country. We went to New York, and she was like, okay, text me when you get to the airport, text me when you're getting on the plane, text me when you land, text me when you get to your hotel. And I was like, okay, Mom, okay. So I texted her when we got to our airport gate, texted her when we were taking off on the plane, texted her when we landed. I did not text her when we got to the hotel. I completely forgot. I think one of our bags had gotten lost or something, and so like we just were like kind of freaking out about that, and thankfully they got our bag and delivered it to the hotel. But yeah, I didn't text her when we got to the hotel, and we wake up at 3 a.m. to this hotel phone. Literally sounded like the phone out of a horror movie when it was ringing, and I answer it, scared out of my mind because I'm like, we're in a hotel. What the frig's happening? I answer it. I'm like, hello, and my mom's like, you didn't text me when you got to the hotel. And I was like, oh, and she was like, I have been sitting here for hours thinking that you were dead. And I was like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Literally called our hotel and got transferred to our room. I felt so bad. But yeah, one of the many things I guess that comes with having children, that parental instinct. Yup.
Core, because of that, it consumes a lot of my thoughts, and I hate that.
I need space from my child in order to be a good parent. I
Yes.
can play as much as a 34-year-old woman can play.
Yeah.
But like feeling guilty about that too. Like, I chose to be a mother. You're supposed to love every part.
One day she's not gonna want to play.
She's
with
not
you,
gonna want
and
to
then
play.
you
You're gonna
didn't
wish she
play.
played. No, I won't.
Oh my god, bro. Anyone who thinks you don't need time away from your kids is just, no. That's just dumb.
I'm going to say something that will make some people upset. I think we need to normalize regretting having your children. I'm a therapist and I work with
normal.
kids, teens, young adults, as well as parents. And there are so many parents who have been vulnerable enough with me in their therapy sessions to admit that they regret having their children. Now, before you shame those parents, these are really, really good parents.
Yeah, like, just because you regret having kids doesn't mean you don't love them. Doesn't mean you can't be a good parent. It just means that if you knew what you knew now, you probably wouldn't have had them. And there's like nothing wrong with that. Doesn't mean you love your kids any less.
Now, these aren't all parents that I work with. It's just a emotion that does come up in therapy that I don't think really gets talked about, because if they were to say some of these words out loud or to other people, they would get shamed for it.
Why?
And don't get me wrong, these are amazing parents. They're great parents. They love their children. They would do anything for their children. They would never give their children up. But it's just talking about the emotion of regretting having them.
I would much rather regret not having children than regret having children later in life.
A book.
Okay, I always say that. I do say that, but like, yeah, like, if I'm super on the fence, you know, and I don't make the choice in time, yeah, I would, like, I don't know. I personally would rather regret not having kids than having them. So let's see.
That seriously shifted my perspective on this is called Regretting Motherhood. I listened to it on Audible, and as a intentional non-parent, I think it's really great that this conversation is being had prior to having children. Everybody featured in that book had already had children. While the sample of the women in this book is very culturally limited in my opinion. For me, it would still be a soft recommendation, especially for anyone who is coming from a culture where motherhood is just absolutely expected of you. The woman.
Oh, I hate that. Oh my gosh. Friggin' when you get married and then everyone instantly is just like, so when are you having kids? Oh my god, are you pregnant yet? Oh, when are you having kids? Like, oh, like, you're probably having kids soon, right? Like, bro, can we just, like, enjoy being married first? Maybe let's just enjoy being married first and everything that comes with that, and then maybe the kids, okay? Like, chill.
Featured in this book definitely were. And reading this book, you realize that the amount of women who feel this way but cannot outwardly admit it to anyone except to do so anonymously is massive.
That's sad.
Additionally, kids understand exactly how you feel and if you regret them. Children are by and large intuitive when it comes to the feelings of their parents. We, by and large, underestimate kids and underestimate that specific hurt.
Not everyone's gonna admit to this, but I hate being a mom.
Okay, so while I may not feel the same way that this mom does about motherhood, I can empathize with how she's feeling. I feel like there are a lot of reasons why a lot of women hate motherhood. And a lot will not admit it because everyone's in a competition to have the most perfect, ideal, great, wonderful life.
No. No. What's not to hate about being woken up 10 times a night to a crying baby? Then you need to keep getting out of the bed. You gotta maybe change their poopy diaper that's smelling up the room. You gotta, like, feed them, and all you want to do is sleep. You're exhausted. You probably have, like, a headache. Then, like, you're like, come on.
The perfect mom. I think it's partly the expectations that we as a society put on women. It's in general, but then when women become mothers, there are these expectations that are put on us as mothers that fathers don't have. Almost every mom I know would rather be a dad. No one expects dads to be up all night doing the diaper changes or handling any tantrums or doing the appointments for the doctors or the school stuff or any of it. But dad simply just exists in the same house as his kids. He's
like, hold on.
Given the award for the best dad of the fucking century. It's the moms who have to pick up all the slack.
Yeah, like, from a traditional standpoint, I guess, where the mom's home not working and the dad is, I don't really see why you're kind of shitting on him for not being expected to be up all night taking care of the baby. If he's working, then he kind of needs to sleep so that he can go to his job. So, yeah, like, if the mom's working and the dad's home, well, then the dad needs to be up through the night with the kid because mom needs to sleep so she can go to work, and vice versa. If dad's working and mom's not, well, mom needs to be up through the night with the kid so dad can sleep so he can go to work. Obviously. Like, to me, that's kind of obvious. As for everything else, generally, again, yeah, if whoever's working is working most of the day, but, you know, still contribute at home a bit. Like, you shouldn't just leave everything in the household to the non-working partner. But, yeah, like, help out a little bit, but I don't know. Like, I don't think they should be shitted on as much as some people shit on them. As long as they are offering, you know, some help at home. If they're just sitting there and they just, you know, see their non-working partner friggin' stressing the hell out and trying to do 10 million different things and they don't offer help, well, then, yeah, you're a piece of shit. But, yeah, as long as you're not doing that, then yeah.
Who are expected to. Moms are never expected to take a break, never expected to take a sick day. Moms are not allowed to have a man cold and get taken care of. And having all this put on you, and you're not expected to ask for help. And when you do ask for help, you're like, oh, well, you shouldn't have been a mother if you need help. Whatever other snarky, shitty comment people make about moms wanting to take a break. When I go on a vacation by myself every year, and like clockwork, people, if I post it to my Facebook, people are like, where are your kids? They have
freaking on vacation from my kids, that's what. Shut your damn mouth.
I have a father. He knows their allergies. He ain't gonna call and bother me while I'm on my vacation. Most women don't have a village. It's like the village ups and runs away when you have a baby. I've seen this happen to almost every mom I know. I think about all the people.
Oh, and then the other thing I hate when they're like, oh yeah, dad's he's babysitting them. No, you're not babysitting. He ain't babysitting the kids. He's watching he's like, you know, being a dad, and he's taking care of his kids. He's not babysitting them.
I know, like, close to me that are mothers. I'm one of the only ones that has a support system that I can depend on. I'm one of the only ones that gets to take breaks. I feel extremely fortunate, but that should be a norm. That shouldn't be the exception to the rule. You've got a lot of burnt out mothers who are at the end of their mental ropes, with no room to breathe, no room to regroup and recharge. We end up with resentful, hurt, bitter moms who hate motherhood, who don't think they should have been mothers. And it's not just because of a personal issue with them. This is a much bigger issue in a much bigger picture. And I really think we as a society need to address that. How mothers have such little help. Mothers have to suffer in silence. Because if they admit to feeling defeated, they get this shitty pushback. Oh, you're a horrible mother. What if your kids see this? If we were supporting mothers like we should, maybe they wouldn't come online so upset. Maybe they wouldn't be so burnt out and touched out.
Exactly.
Begging for help.
You can literally hear her own kids like screaming in the background.
And we need to help them.
Are you actually curious why I don't like motherhood? I'd love to tell you. Because society thinks that maternity leave is a vacation. Because people think that stay-at-home moms don't work. Because childcare is astronomically high. Mm-hmm. Because we don't think that moms work, but we expect families to pay for the childcare for their children as if it's actually work. That men actually make more when they become fathers, and women make...
Oh my God. You're a stay-at-home mom. It's not work. But then they literally take their kid to a daycare to people who do the things that a stay-at-home mom does, and it's a job.
Make less if they even stay in the workforce. That moms like you have a different experience of motherhood, so think that they can go judge other moms for having a different experience of motherhood. Because I'm expected to disappear because I'm a mom now and not have any dreams. And I'm judged for having dreams.
Yes, oh my God. You're a mom now, that's it. That's your whole existence now, is just being a mom. I hate that. I hate when people have that mentality.
When I finally realize I'm a human and I'm still allowed to have them.
Yes.
And I think that's it for now. But please get the fuck off my page.
What is something that you'll get a lot of hate for if you say it out loud?
That a lot of parents out there regret having kids. A lot of women have been sold on the idea that being a mother is everything, and that if you don't have kids, then what good are you?
Oh my God. I don't know why this just reminded me. I also hate seeing posts. Like, I've seen posts where, I don't know, a woman is posting anonymously that, they just found out they're pregnant, they're terrified, and they want to know, like, whatever the process of an abortion is or something. Or, like, how do you, adopt the child out, when you have the child? And then everyone, literally in the comments, is like, oh no, it's going to be fine. Trust me, when you have this kid, it's going to be a blessing, and it's going to be the best thing that has ever happened to you. No. I cannot stand that shit. Oh my God. Like, come on, be real here. If someone's being mature enough to realize they're not ready for a kid, don't sit there and tell them that shit. I can't.
And then once they have kids, it's not all flowers and roses like they've been told.
Yeah, exactly.
Nobody tells the truth about the real costs in having kids. Babies are born sick and they have ailments. Partners can't handle it and they bail. And then it's a great disappointment that the child grows up to be something totally different than the idea that you have in your head. And once the resentment sets in, they tend to lash out at people who chose not to have children, mostly out of jealousy because they have the freedom to do things while you still have a child attached to your hip. So if you're considering having kids, think long and hard, because having a child is a lifelong commitment. It doesn't end when the kid turns 18. It lasts a lifetime.
A mom admitted online that she loves her 3 kids, but regrets having them. She posted to Reddit recalling how much her life had changed since having her first child 12 years ago. She felt
women not being able to get their tubes tied because what if you meet a nice man someday? Holy shit! Yeah, like, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I can't stand it. Literally, that's so stupid. Like if I was in the doctor's office and the doctor said that to me, well, what if you meet a nice man someday? Like, I don't know, like, okay, he's nice, but sounds like we're not compatible then, because if he wants kids and I don't, well, that it's just not gonna work. So it doesn't matter. Don't matter. If he wants kids, I don't. So not gonna happen.
like her life had ended. Now she likens herself to a full-time nanny, chef, and maid for 3 little humans. She doesn't feel like her kids show her any respect and that they aren't even that fond of her, and her husband isn't helping matters any. She says she grew up with a bad mom, so now she overcompensates by always trying to take the best care of her home and her family, and she always feels underappreciated. She's not alone in these feelings. Studies have shown that around 1 in 10 parents regret having children, and they suffer in silence because there's a huge stigma attached to this regret. While many women are aware of the physical changes that can occur in order for them to become a mom, many women are not prepared for the overwhelming burden of becoming the primary caretaker for the family. Not to mention the fact that many stay-at-home parents face isolation, loneliness, loss of identity, and depression.
Yeah, because, like, oftentimes, especially if you have a lot of friends who don't have kids, pretty sure, like, oftentimes when you're the one who has the kid, those friends will kind of, like, distance themselves because they don't want to hang out and be around or, like, have the kid there all the time and stuff like that.
Primary parents should have time for self-care, self-discovery, and time away from the responsibilities of being a parent. And the partner needs to step up and make the entire family a priority, which includes the mother. The key is finding balance, which isn't always easy. Hang in there, mama. You're not alone.
Good morning.
I wanted to say that, like, I feel like another thing that a lot of people don't realize is, number one, being a stay-at-home parent is a full-time job. So, you know, you take care of all the housework, you take care of the children, whatever. And then the other parent who is working, obviously, has a full-time job. The difference is, the working parent has an end time to that job. I'll use the traditional, they go to work at 9 in the morning. Their work ends at 5 p.m. The stay-at-home parent's job does not have an end time. Theirs is 24/7. So I am of the opinion that the working parent should still offer the stay-at-home parent, you know, a weekend day maybe. Like, hey, honey, go have a day out. I'll watch our kid. You go have fun. Go chill, go relax.
You've probably heard about the infamous Regretful Parents subreddit, but I just wanted to share one of the posts with you guys, especially those of you who are on the fence about whether or not you want to have children. So here we go. I haven't been happy since before he was born. No tragedy here, no special needs kid or abusive spouse. I was a fence sitter, and every single person who was a fence sitter I knew would go on about how glad they were about having kids, how rewarding and fulfilling and full of love it all was. It's just not. I've never been crazy about my kid and honestly resent just how badly he impacted my life. I don't hate him, but I don't really like him as a person either. If he was a neighbor kid or something, I would avoid him. The only feelings I get when he's around is frustration, annoyance, and deep, deep regret.
Damn.
I don't enjoy any of it. I let myself be talked into a child because my husband wanted one so bad. But of course, it was my life that took the biggest hit. This isn't some new mom venting. My son is a teenager now, and I have never not once ever enjoyed raising him. Some parents have different stages where they can kind of connect with their kids, but I never did. I've spent years and years unhappy, all to please a man. Let me make this clear that there is no man on this planet I would ever have a child for again. It is not one thing you do for your spouse. It's the everyday grind. I put his happiness ahead of my own and have paid for it every single day since. It is not fulfilling. I'm angry at the years I could have spent on myself, getting ahead in my education and career, but I couldn't afford that and a kid. Looking back, would I say it was all worth it? Not even close. I'm angry and resentful, and none of this ish was worth it. I wasted my best, most productive years of my life drowning in misery, and for what? A kid I don't even like? If you're a fence sitter, make sure this is what you really want. I'm not interested in advice or to hear from childless people about how terrible they feel for my kid. Please and thank you.
Damn.
This, ladies. Men always want kids. They want to give you kids, but they don't want to take care of the kids. It is very, very rare that they do. So make sure that you get a dog with them first.
Get a dog first. True. True. If they're not going to help you take care of the dog, they are definitely not going to help you take care of a kid. And another thing that, a lot of people don't think about is you can't control how your kid turns out. You can sit there and say till you're blue in the face, oh, my kid, I would raise my kid better than that. Like, my kid would be an angel. My kid would be blah, 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 blah. No. You could do everything right, and your kid could end up being someone you don't like. That's reality.
Also, notice how you don't really hear that much about people who were fence sitters and never had kids, like complain about not having kids. It's always the people who were fence sitters who had kids who regret having kids.
Here's what people had to say in the comments. I wish people had this conversation more. I tell my 25-year-old sister all the time I wish someone would have told me how mentally strong you gotta be.
Yup.
I regret having children before knowing myself and being financially stable. I wish I had enjoyed the time it was just me more. Thanks for saying this. I am so vocal about this because I never heard these conversations before I became a mom. These conversations are so important. I'm glad more people are talking about this, as someone who doesn't have or want kids at all. People always make me feel crazy for it.
Damn.
I have 5 kids. After knowing how hard it is, if I could go back I would not have any. I love them all, but my mental health is in the trash.
5 kids!
I greatly regret ever having a kid. I lost my body, my career, my hope, and my marriage. If you end up having a special needs child, you're on your own.
Wow. Oh my god, she had 5 kids, regretting the first kid, I guess, and still had 4 more. What? Stress-free upbringing. This is the biggest problem of today's parenting? Wait, what do you mean? Stress-free upbringing? Yeah. Sorry, another thing this reminded me of here is when also people are like, oh, you don't need to wait until you're financially stable. It's, you'll just figure things out. Like, I don't know how people can just say that. How do you just tell someone that? Telling your children that this is bad, you can't do this, yada yada, without any punishment is pointless. They will think that they can do everything. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. If you tell your kid, you better not do this, or I'm going to take this away. Well, if they do the thing, then you take the thing away. You don't just be like, oh, okay. You take the thing away because they did the thing. Otherwise, yeah, you're just, they'll learn that, oh, hey, I can just get away with everything because they're going to threaten that they're going to do something, but then they never do, so I'm just going to do whatever the hell I want. Oh, no! Anyways, I'm going to go do the thing that my mom said not to do now because she's not going to do anything about it. Ba 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 ba.